Good morning. Welcome to Veterans Views, award-winning radio show here. I'm with my co-host Donna, and my name is Robert, and we're going to go ahead and get started. We have a few topics we want to talk with everybody today, and it has to do with a whole lot of spending. And when it refers or relates to the veterans community, we want to get the news out there and get you all talking about it. So as we go through our subject matter today, give us a call, 219
845
1100 219
845
1100. So you call, interact with us on this fine day, the day after Christmas. It's warm, the snow's melted.
Yeah, right? That's great.
Looking forward to New Year. So hope you all had a Merry Christmas. Call us with your positive Christmas stories, and we'll get you on the air, and we'll share some love. So it's not all doom and gloom, although we are going to talk a little bit about some stuff that affects us directly and even indirectly. Of course, indirect fire can be just as dangerous, right?
Absolutely.
All right. So what's the first subject we're going to talk about today, Donna?
Well, I got a couple things from the festive report that Senator Rand Paul puts out every year. I've been reading this report for a while, for quite a few years now, and it just enrages me sometimes. So he points out some of the really strange and idiotic things the government spends money on.
Some fraudulent,
yeah,
almost,
actually,
yeah.
One of the things, and anybody who knows me knows I'm a dog lover. I have rescue dogs all the time, and excuse me, excuse me. So the National Institute on Drug Abuse, they paid $2 million for 6 beagle puppies, and these puppies have to wear a jacket that would dose them with cocaine. It's egregious that our government is spending millions of dollars to test cocaine effects on
Dogs.
Animals.
This seems like it's like World War II type experiments.
Yeah.
I mean, why would we even be interested in something like that? And how much? What do you said? $6 million on six? $1 million a dog or something there?
Yeah, they spent $2 million on 6 puppies.
Oh, wow. Well, you do the math.
Yeah.
We got hundreds of thousands of dollars for dogs there.
Yeah, and the thing is don't we already know how cocaine affects people?
Yeah.
We've been studying that for years. Why stop testing on animals?
It's very strange
You
to
know?
have that. That's, 20, people talk about it like it's a drop in the bucket with government spending.
Yeah.
$20 million is a lot of money.
Yeah.
Like in a town municipal budget, that is huge.
Absolutely.
Think about what you
Absolutely.
could do with the roads and everything with
Oh,
$20
yeah.
million.
Some of these amounts may seem small, but when you add them all up, you're talking hundreds of millions of dollars of waste.
It's criminal, and they just keep asking for more.
Yeah.
With $900 billion defense budget, God knows what's going into the defense budget. So part of this, with them experimenting on dogs, is related to VA benefits or something.
Yes.
From what I was reading on this,
Yes.
it's like they're using VA
They're using
funds.
Right. One of the studies from the National Institutes of Health. This is the Department of Veteran Affairs. They have spent over $1 million studying alcoholism in ferrets.
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 Those are the little like prairie dog looking.
Yeah, they're not very big. They're
Yeah.
small.
Okay.
And they force ferrets to consume alcohol for an entire day by withholding their access to water.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You have to put them in a restricted environment for them to even touch it.
Yes.
Essentially, alcohol is poison.
Right.
So
Right.
why would they want to drink that?
Yeah, they do this for up to 90 days,
That's terrible.
and then they end up killing the ferrets.
Oh no.
And the goal behind this experiment is to pave the way for teenage ferrets to be used to test chemical weapons, opioids, extreme stress, and TBI. And to conduct studies related to depression, stress responses, addiction, schizophrenia, suicide, and sensory processing. I mean, that's a lot of money for something that really...
You can identify in just human observation.
Yeah.
It's happening right now in real
Right.
life. This isn't something that we need to formulate or create an experiment of when it's literally all over the world and very high in this country.
Right.
Alcoholism and these effects, depression, you name it.
Yeah. I mean, and that's $1 million that they're going to spend testing that, but yet they want disabled veterans to pay for benefits for other disabled veterans because they say they don't have any money.
Yeah.
This is what aggravates me when they say they don't have any money. And you can go through this report. You can find it online if you if you just search for Festivus Report 2025.
Festivus, yeah. And so it's this is very interesting. This is put out every year.
Yeah.
And there's no this is the first I've heard of it since you brought it up this morning. I researched it a little bit, but there's no like push on this to get this out to the community and how many people actually go through this and are just flabbergasted by it, and what can we do about it?
Well,
you know what I mean?
A lot of this, Congress controls the purse strings, and in my opinion, like when we're spending $14 million to have monkeys play Plinko, which is a Price of Right game.
Plinko,
however you pronounce it. When we're spending $14 million of that from the National Science Foundation, I say we cut their budget by $14 million.
Yeah.
And they do it every year until they have nothing.
Right.
If they're going to continue to waste this money on ridiculous studies.
There's a big one. There's $77 million.
Yeah, $77 million for the Navy Marine Mammal Program. It's a underwater program. They have 120 dolphins and sea lions.
To service experiments and
yeah,
missions.
they train bottlenose dolphins and California sea lions to detect mines and objects at sea.
Huh.
The animals are subjected to sleep deprivation, made to wear headphones with loud noises. They even play sea lions to play video games.
Wow.
And some of the animals were even purchased from SeaWorld.
Wow, it's just terrible.
And this is something the Navy doesn't even need. The Navy even said that modern aquatic drones can do these jobs.
Here's what I think a lot of this, and callers call in and correct me if I'm wrong. I think a lot of this is swept under the political agenda. They want us to be divided.
Yes.
Okay, they want us to say that this is a Republican agenda or this is a Democratic agenda, because if we do that, then half of the country won't care.
Exactly.
Right? If somebody comes in and tries to balance the budget, well, depending on who's the president, they're going to blame that political landscape.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
There's no winning because each side is always at fault. Now, if you were to just set aside your tag that you wear on your dog tag that you wear on your neck that says Republican or Democrat and just look at this.
Yeah.
And say this is absolutely fraudulent, and who's going to do something about this? You get with each individual congressman. I mean, how does this?
Yeah,
it's just so big.
It is.
And the spending on this is so ridiculous. And I, for one, am sick of hearing about all this fraudulent spending. I just went overseas and seen it myself with my own two eyes, just on the military spending. But let's not even dive deeper into what the military spending is actually being utilized for. And we're looking at sea animals, $77 million for the Navy. We're looking at $1 million for ferrets. We're looking at just
$2 million for beagles.
Yeah, it makes me sick. Callers, call in 219-845-1100. Let's hear your thoughts on this one. I know it's the day after Christmas, but this report was just put out within the last few days, correct?
Yeah.
And it's put out at the end of every year.
Right.
So I would like to make it a tradition every year. Let's be thankful for what we have and have our good holiday and everything, and then we'll talk about what some of our money was spent on the year. And we'll look at the Festivus report. This isn't the Seinfeld Festivus. This is an actual report that's put out every year.
Yeah.
And what's the name of the author? Or
Senator Rand Paul.
Okay, Senator Ron Paul. So Rand Paul.
Rand Paul.
Okay, okay, gotcha. So he is, correct me for my ignorance on the political landscape, but what is he, left, right?
He's a Republican.
Okay, and he's a senator in
Kentucky.
Okay, so regardless of your political beliefs, I don't care if this guy's a Republican, a liberal, a Democrat, or a moderate, or whatever. This information that is being put out here it's flabbergasting.
Yeah.
And I think we could all have a united front on this to say that there is wasted millions and millions of dollars. and who can we get in touch with
Yeah.
that's going to make a difference and cause a scuttle
But
on Capitol Hill for
here's
this.
something that I find morally repugnant. All
Okay.
right. They wasted $2.8 million. Now this is going to make some. This should make some people mad. Using aborted human fetal tissue on animals. The lab animals were implanted with bone marrow, liver, and thymus tissue from aborted human babies.
So they're feeding it to animals
Yeah.
in hopes that they see some sort of regenerative
Yeah, they're doing it.
nerve
They're
damage or
doing this
something
one to mice.
to mice.
Yeah. And I just, we hear so much about I don't want to get into the
That's-
abortion
yeah.
debate. I really don't.
But it's sick.
It's sick to
Feeding
be doing
human.
that.
It's a human.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, some of these are they're like World War II, like Nazi regime type.
Yeah.
I can't believe this stuff is going on.
Yep. Yep. It's so ridiculous. Here's a good one that'll get some. Another one is involves NASA. 1.8 billion with a B. They have a contract for the exploration of an upper stage component for their space launch system. It ran 6 years behind schedule and about 1.8 billion over its budget. This contract, now keep this in mind, the contract was originally awarded for 383 million. And this project has increased 161% in its lifespan. I mean, there is really no government project that I've ever seen that runs under budget or at budget,
Yeah.
And we're talking about over $1 billion. And this money went to Boeing. And Boeing, the same company that left 2 astronauts stranded in space for 9 months last year, had to be rescued by SpaceX. So
which everybody seems to think that he's a terrible.
Yeah.
If I was a terrible person, I wouldn't spend millions upon millions of dollars to go save 2 people in outer space. I'm the only one that can do it. Mm-hmm. Let me just sit on my hands because everybody hates me.
Yeah.
Or I could go and do the right thing and save these people when nobody else can.
Right.
Right?
Right.
I think it's a good thing.
I do
I
too.
mean, he saved some people's lives.
Yeah.
People just hate on that guy for
I know.
no ungodly reason.
I know. And it goes back to what you said earlier. They want to keep us divided. And if we're fighting with each other, we're not fighting them, and we're not paying attention to what this. We don't like this particular party, whichever one it is. And so I'm just gonna,
Well, when you affiliate anyone to a particular party, all of a sudden half the people don't like them.
Yeah.
Right. And
right.
that's what they want, really.
Yeah.
They don't
Oh,
want
yeah.
us to be united, right?
Yeah, and I think behind the scenes they're all working together to do.
Oh,
this
yeah.
stuff,
They put on a show. It's so televised. They
Yeah.
put on a show like they're really getting after it with each other.
Yeah.
And behind closed doors, they're like, yeah, that was good.
Yeah,
we got it all
right.
set up
Yeah.
now. Now they believe.
Yeah.
Now let's
Exactly.
do and pass whatever we need to.
Yeah. So here's another waste of 7.5 billion with a B was spent to put up electric vehicle charging stations throughout the country. There's supposed to be 500,000 of them. By April of 2025, there's only 384 public ports at 68 stations in 16 states. So there's no way that cost $7.5 billion to do that little amount of work.
Mm-hmm.
Where'd the rest of that money go?
Mm-hmm. So there was something, and everybody's out there in our country, and you can debate whether it's a good or a bad thing. But health insurance for all, right?
Yeah.
Most people can't stop working until they're 65 when they get Medicare.
Exactly.
Unless you're 100% disabled, and you can get TRICARE for life immediately. Yeah. Things like that give you the opportunity to retire early, or sadly, if you have a disability on the Social Security side, then you can have
right.
availability. Some people use the VA, depending. But I remember when Bernie was running against the Trumpster, and they were all, talking and yada yada. But Bernie had made a point that if you were to even take a portion, like 1/4 of the defense budget at the time, it was 800 billion. Now it's 900 billion. You could, with 250 billion dollars, you could pay healthcare for all in our country, right?
Yep.
Well, here's one in this Festivus report. From a $20 billion bailout for Argentina to continue funding for global health programs through waivers, Washington found new ways to keep the cash flowing. And with every new handout, the mountain of debt grows even higher.
Yep.
It's like, what?
Why are we
20
not taking
billion
care of
to
our people?
healthcare from other countries, and we're sitting here with inflation and healthcare, essentially a healthcare pandemic of itself, to where when I had my last child, he's 4 now, I asked for an itemized bill. I'm on TRICARE, so I get really good health insurance because I'm in the Reserve Guard. But I asked for an itemized bill because I ended up getting a $0 bill because I'm just lucky that I have good health insurance, right? I was lucky that I joined the military, and it's one of the great benefits of being in the military and being a veteran. Although we do say negative things here and there, I would say that the VA is a very, very good program, and they help a lot. They help millions of people, regardless of the little things that we do negate on them. Now, to say all that to say this, when I get a $0 bill and I ask for an itemized bill, and the toothbrush on that itemized bill, the toothbrush in the room for my wife to brush her teeth in the morning after just having a baby was listed as $600.
Oh my gosh.
$600.
For a toothbrush.
Yes. You don't know what these people are charging you for.
No.
Ask for an itemized bill. I encourage you.
Yeah.
Ask for an itemized bill. Even if you don't have to pay the bill, just out of curiosity, see what you're paying for.
Yeah.
No, see what the government's paying for.
Yeah, exactly.
And then next time you look at your check, hey, you know what? The 20% that they just took out, maybe it's 50% by the time I retire. Who knows?
Right.
How come my toothbrush is $600 and I can't even drive up, Klein Avenue without breaking an axle?
Right.
Exactly. And why is Klein Avenue owned by a foreign country, right? To rebuild it and charge fees. So, and that you're getting that all over.
Yeah. And we have, when you talk about healthcare, we spend billions of dollars sending money to Israel, and they have free healthcare for their people. They have free college. They have all these benefits that we pay for. But we don't pay for that stuff in our own country. That just boggles my mind that we do that. I just can't. I don't know.
It definitely boggles the mind. Callers 219-845-1100. Day after Christmas, we're talking about budgets. We got the Festivus report here, and we are going down the rabbit hole on meticulous and fraudulent spending.
Yeah.
And nobody cares.
Yeah.
Nobody cares but me and Donna. We're the ones sitting here looking at our paychecks and saying, my goodness, $20 billion to foreign countries for healthcare. I understand. We are the richest country in the world. We have to be advocates for health. We have to be the good guys. We got to do this stuff. This is all very important. But the old saying, you sweep your front porch first before you judge mine.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Let's clean up what we have to clean up in this country before we have to send billions for reasons that we don't even know.
Yeah.
And it's one thing to say, hey, you know what? We're helping people with health care. We're helping these scenarios to provide doctors in Israel and the refugees. That's one thing, right? That's something that I think most people can get behind. But when you're talking about billions of dollars for animal projects to study dogs on cocaine and to study ferrets, like it's just this stuff.
It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And when you got towns struggling, municipalities struggling to provide school systems.
Yes.
Just down the road here.
Yeah.
Right? In the region.
Yeah.
We've got major issues.
Absolutely.
And we're one of the biggest tax revenue regions in all of the state.
Right.
And how come we've got situations where our schools are constantly shutting down, where our roads are just trashed, where we're the homeless veterans community is suffering.
Yep.
And again, this show, we bring so many people on and a lot of our contributors that really care and really make a difference in our community.
Yes.
And we advocate for that and we want that. But we also have to look at the other side of the scope as to why is it happening?
Mm-hmm.
Why is it happening? And I think it comes down to wasteful, fraudulent, and spending that's not completely transparent with our community, our taxpayers, not just veterans.
Right.
Taxpayers everywhere.
Yes.
We just turn a blind eye. We pay our taxes. We pay our property taxes. Why?
Mm-hmm.
You pay your house for 30 years. Your house is paid off. It's a great accomplishment in life.
Yes, absolutely.
Then you're stuck on, maybe you didn't save for retirement the way that you should have, and you're stuck on Social Security, and your taxes go up on your house.
Yeah.
To where now you can't even afford the house
Right.
that you paid off.
We have senior citizens throughout the country losing their homes to property taxes,
Property taxes.
which is ridiculous.
And do you think $20 billion to a foreign country for health care would maybe help with
You think?
our retired community property taxes?
Yes,
At a state level?
Yes.
Yeah. It's
And I think part of the problem is the way Congress operates. They have a must-pass spending bill, right?
Yeah. If you don't use it, you lose it.
Right. And I'm
Right.
not talking about any particular party, but they have these must-pass spending bills. They sneak earmarks into these bills, and they hope, these bills come out and they're hundreds of pages, and they're just hoping nobody reads the whole thing,
Yeah.
and which they don't. Most people in Congress don't read the bills that they pass, which is egregious. They don't have any idea what the fine print is in those bills. And again, if you want to call in and talk about this with us, it's 219-845-1100. Give us a call.
Yeah, we need some feedback from
Yeah.
the community. We know you're all out there on a 4-day weekend right now, just sitting there. So give us a call. Maybe you got an event. Maybe you got something coming up. Right now we're talking about wasteful budget spending and how it affects the veterans community and current soldiers. But I will say this, moving into the future, okay, we are now looking at a position in our country that we haven't seen in 250 years. Do you know what that is?
Probably the deficit.
That is a very good wing point
Yeah.
to what I'm about to say.
Okay.
We are looking at a potential population decline for the first time in 250 years of our country.
I did not know that.
So
That's incredible.
what do you think a population decline starting in now? They said as soon as 2025, but definitely by 2080. People aren't having kids anymore.
Yeah.
Gen Z, Gen Alpha, they're looking at it and saying it's too expensive. Hey, we got a caller. Welcome,
right.
Welcome to the show. You're on Veterans Views, caller.
Good morning, Rocky and Donna. It's Connie. How are you today?
Hey, Connie,
Hey, good morning,
what's going
Connie.
on?
Hey, you guys are sounding great. I hope you had a nice Christmas.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, you as well.
Yeah,
Thank you.
It's
I
nice.
did. Yes, it was nice. I'm not upset that it's warm.
I'm
And
not
that
either.
Me either.
I gotta take the Christmas
don't like
stuff
that
down
ice.
today.
Yes.
My kids had the
so
flu,
I-
Connie. My whole family had the
did?
flu this week. Yeah,
Oh no.
I've been.
Oh no.
I tell them, I say, hey, if you go to the gym every day, maybe you won't go to get the flu. And they're only 4 and 11 and 14, so they don't go there.
No. Get him out
No, I
there
think
to
the gym
early
is-
morning calisthenics.
Yeah,
The gym is the place to get the flu and
Yeah.
anything else. I think.
yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to make a announcement and congratulate and welcome our new sponsor coming onto the show for 2026. There was just a little bit of a I talked to Steve, and there was a little bit of a confusion last week. And while Leva's Home Health and Senior Care would love to come on board eventually, it's White Oak Home Care that came
Okay.
on board with
Oh,
us.
very
And I
good.
just want to, yes, and I want to give a huge shout out to White Oak. And
Where are they located at, Connie?
they are located, and I'm going to send you this information. I sent it to Steve, and I guess you don't have it, but I'll send it to you guys too. They are at 9800 Connecticut Drive in Crown Point, Indiana, and they can be reached at 219-999-5869, and check out their website for all the services they provide. It's whiteoakhomecare.com. Again, that's whiteoakhomecare.com, 219-999-5869. And they're at 9800 Connecticut Drive in Crown Point. We are very grateful for them.
Absolutely.
And
Connie, could you do us a solid? I know I got the Google Drive link, but I don't see a contributor list. And I know Steve Bramer's got it saved on his phone. We were looking for it this morning. We can get to that. But, yeah, we'd love to make sure that we get that out there.
Absolutely. I'll get that right out to you. And thanks for bringing up, Donna, by the way, also what we do to our poor animals. I'm going to send you also I looked up an article about it, and I was reading, and the EPA says that they're vowing to stop all testing on animals by 2035. Not good enough.
No.
2035.
Why don't they start it?
Yeah.
Stop it today.
Stop it today, right.
They got
but
more
it's a
stuff
really
to figure
excellent
out.
article. I'll text it to both you and Rocky, and I'll get you both out that contributor list. And
Yeah,
so you can take our
either
contributors.
send it to the drive or
All
send
right.
it in our group text, and we'll get it out there.
Absolutely. I didn't send Lynette a Google Drive this morning, so I'll just text it to you and so that you both have it.
Okay.
All righty.
All right. Thanks, Connie.
You have a wonderful Happy New Year, both of you, and
Yes,
I'm glad
you
you're
too.
I'm glad you're on the mend, Rocky. We'll talk
Oh,
soon.
yeah.
All right. Thanks, Connie. Happy
Take
New
care.
Year.
Okay. Happy New Year. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
So thanks, Connie, for calling in. We're going to get our contributors out here. Again, we're all volunteer forces, just like the military, and when we rose our right hands, we're out there serving our countries, and we are here in studio serving the veterans community by putting out the information. And we're getting into some hot topics here.
Yeah.
We're talking about right now, we're just mentioning the population decline. With the newer generations just aren't having kids.
No.
Okay. And so what's happening is that's further extending the wage gaps. Okay.
Okay.
Because right now the trend is that more lower income housing individuals or poverty level individuals are the ones having kids. There's such a gap with the population. What happens let's spin off this a little bit to the national debt. Okay? The national debt right now is under it, although it's huge and it's spinning out of control,
Right.
it is still under control. The only reason is because our economic growth. Okay? Our country continues to grow at a rate that the economy can account for that debt.
Some of it. I mean, we spend $77,000 a second on our debt.
Understandably, but we have an economy that's somewhat curb-tailing us having such. I mean, inflation's at 3% or under currently. It's been there, and it was at 2.5% a year ago or so. Some things have allowed it to creep back up to the 3%. But let's just say this: if the workforce out there and the economic growth dwindles over the next 20 years.
It'd be even worse.
And our economy expansion slows, okay? Then you start looking at that national debt in a way that we haven't before.
Right.
Because we've always been, to this point, well, not always, but over the last 100 years, since about 1900, we've been the largest economy in the world.
Yeah.
Okay? The largest growing industrial complex. Now we're the largest growing on the tech side, the artificial intelligence, the microchip developers, and farming. And what happens when our population decreases is now that national debt starts to creep up, the inflation starts to creep up at an expanded rate that we won't be able to handle. The market comes down with it. The value, because people wouldn't at that point be spending money, right?
Gotcha.
So it snowballs out of control. So some of the biggest philanthropists and economists out there are saying that in the next 50 years, the biggest problem will be the population, because we won't be able to sustain what we're currently sustaining now with economic growth to curb-tail the debt, because the debt is a huge issue.
Yeah.
It's just not hitting us in the face right now.
Right.
Because our economy is growing so exponentially.
I see what you're saying. Okay.
So that's where you come into now other issues like Medicare, okay, VA benefits, okay. If we don't have a population to support the tax payments, then these, Social Security payments.
Yeah,
Right.
right.
These types of programs are going to be very, very hard to sustain, if not impossible,
Yeah.
without population working, economy expanding. We lose our ability to say that we're the richest country in the world, our ability to say the strength of our dollar is based off our economy and not gold, because that changed, right, over
right.
the last 50 years. Then we lose the ability to supplement these programs, and it starts now by refining our budgets, because how are we able to sustain, like you said, what, $17,000 a minute?
Yeah.
$17,000 a minute when we're wasting billions of dollars on animal testing.
Yeah. Yeah.
like
Yeah, and there's so much pork, that, oh, well, my constituents, I'm going to take, whenever anybody is congratulating themselves, whether you're a senator or congressman, about all the money they bring back to their region or their area or whatever you want to call it, that's our tax dollars.
yeah,
We spend millions of dollars a year. Like, I forget which, I think it was I want to say Alaska, I could be wrong, building a bridge that went nowhere.
Huh.
And just on stupid things.
Yeah.
Because we're trying, the congressmen and the senators, they know where their bread is buttered, and it's like our former congressman, who all his money came from the defense industry, because
Yeah.
he sat on that committee, and it's just, we built planes for the Navy or the Air Force that they didn't even want, nor did they need. But we spent billions of dollars on that. And they're all sitting in a field somewhere, not being used.
Mm-hmm.
Billions of dollars, just gone.
Oh yeah.
So that somebody could make some defense contractor happy.
Yeah, and geez, you just think about some of the things this year in particular that were exposed to the public.
Mm-hmm.
Think about the beginning of this year and when they were going through the audit,
Yeah.
right? And how many things, but how many people said it's complete malarkey? It's bull crap. That's not true. Like,
Yeah. But it
it's
is.
so easy to say that a fact is a lie.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah.
like there's,
And if you say it enough, people will believe it.
yeah, oh, that's not true.
Yeah.
That's fake.
Well, look at the Pentagon. They failed another audit. They haven't passed an audit in a long time, probably 20 years.
Wow.
And there's billions of dollars missing from the Pentagon that go to these black bag projects that we know nothing about.
Yeah.
And and nobody can tell you where this money's going. And if you think about like we always used to joke around in the military, oh, remember your weapons made by the lowest bidder, which is true. All of our
Yeah.
equipment is made by the lowest bidder, and a lot of it, I'm sure you can attest to this more recently, but back when I was serving in the 80s, it was crap. I mean, it was junk.
Mm.
A lot of it was, even when we started getting the new Dragon wagons and the Humvees, and they were nice and shiny, and everybody was like, oh, cool, we're getting rid of the Vietnam era Jeeps.
Mm-hmm.
But
I think the problem with that, and then they get too expansive to where the only company that makes that piece of equipment, now you're monopolized into just utilizing that company.
right,
Right?
Yeah.
Like, so when you have a Jeep, anybody can fix a Jeep.
Yeah.
Right?
right,
Some of these pieces of equipment, and just through my most recent experience, let's say an LMTV, which is like kind of like a deuce and a half for the old timers out there that
Okay. Who you calling old?
there's pieces of equipment on these things, rhino mounts and all this stuff that nobody else makes, and then after a couple of years they're obsolete. They don't even make them anymore.
Right.
So you've got these wheeled assets out there that need to be utilized currently,
Mm-hmm.
that are redlined, we call Circle X
Yeah.
in the military, that can't even be used because there's nobody that makes the part.
Yeah.
And you're talking about millions and billions and millions of dollars
Yes.
sitting on the sidelines because we created a contract with the company that was a fly-by-night, and they created what we needed,
Yeah.
and now they don't make the part no more. So what happens? We got to buy something else.
Yeah, right.
We got to upgrade.
Yeah.
Right? And
Well, back in the 80s when I was working in the maintenance platoon, and we would need parts for our equipment that we couldn't get, like you said. And what we would do is there was a boneyard out in Barstow, California, and we would go out there and we had to have paperwork, and all your ducks had to be in a row, you know, because God forbid you didn't do the right paperwork for something, you know. But anyway, and we'd go out to Barstow, and we would it was like a pick and part, you know. We would get what we needed, take it off of these vehicles that were in the boneyard, and we could use it and get our stuff up and running. So it's ridiculous what you have to go through.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and I don't know if you remember or not, because, you know, you're a youngin'.
Who you calling young? No.
But back in the first Gulf War, you know, we had equipment that didn't have armor plating. You know, there was no armor plating in any of these vehicles. And even when we went down to Honduras back in 87 or 88, I forget. But when we went down there, we were making roads and doing all kinds of stuff down there. Well, their dirt, their soil is different than ours. Not that much different, but it was just in such bad shape. And we wanted to take what they have these what they're called hardening welding rods, so you could harden the blades on the equipment, on the earth movers, scrapers, all this stuff that we had. We were heavy equipment platoon. Well, the government was like, no, you can't do that. That's an illegal modification.
Oh,
and I'm
wow.
like, yeah, okay,
Jeez,
go away.
this was back
go
then,
away.
yeah.
Go away. So we did it anyway.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, you got to do what you got to do.
You got to do what you got to do. But it's ridiculous that there's, you know, your hands are sometimes, I think our hands are tied by the regulations that we create.
Oh, yeah, of course.
You know, and that's...
I'm sure that there's callers out there, and I know we've talked about the impact tool that the government spent millions on during the Vietnam era, the impact tool, which ended up just being a hammer.
Yeah, the $600 hammer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you got an experience of when you served, and maybe some unbelievable spending that you've seen, because we're all relating here to the Festivus report, where we're talking about fraudulent spending of the government, our tax-paid dollars that directly affects our VA benefits, it directly affects our military pay, and has a huge impact on our community. It's just why we're talking about it on the show. If you've got something at the top of your head, give us a call, 219-845
1100.
219-845
1100.
Call the show and let us know what you've seen out there, or what you're currently looking at, because we want to get the news out. We want to let people know, hey, this is something that everybody needs to be aware of.
Right.
Don't just look and say, he's taking 20% of my paycheck.
Yeah.
Don't look at it that way.
Right.
Look at it as like, what is the 20% of this paycheck going
and
to?
Think if you had that 20% in your paycheck, what you could do with it.
Yeah. And
You
some
know?
people pay way more than the 20%.
Yeah.
It just depends on what your
Where your
deductions
tax bracket-
are and all that stuff. So,
You know, and back when I served, I don't know if they still do this. Maybe they do. But, you know, the fiscal budget starts every October 1st. So the last 2 weeks of September were spent, okay, how much money do we have left? We have X amount of dollars. Well, if we don't use it, we lose it. So
that's been the mentality of my whole career.
Yeah, okay.
You know?
So we would spend money. We would go and get ungodly amounts of toilet paper, pens, staplers, anything
just
that we
to
could.
blow the money. You gotta,
just to get rid of the money.
Right.
And it it's such a waste.
Well,
you know?
we especially in my experience, because you got the new fiscal year that starts up. Oh, we got a caller.
Okay.
Let's hear what you got there. Caller, you're on Veterans Views Radio.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I heard what you were talking about, the what is called the multiple impact devices.
All
that
right,
the
Pat.
Department of Defense happened to purchase for $2,000 a piece,
Wow.
not $600, $2,000 a piece. And there's a lot of that going on in government. And we were warned by General Eisenhower when he was president at the end of his term. And if you listen to what he says at the end of his term, he said, beware of the industrial military complex.
Yep.
And he's seen it coming. And he was very, it was very disturbing. But if you look at all the things that we do spend money on, and you were talking about black bag operations, Well, there is a number of black bag operations that are occurring simultaneously. And a lot of the money you may think is being misspent going to one thing, and you'll say, wow, look at this money. It's being spent on educating the giraffes in Africa or something.
Yeah, right.
Just some
well,
outlandish.
that money's really not being used for that.
Yeah.
That money's being diverted. And, you go back to track it, and you'll find out that it's not being used for that at all. Rand
But you
Paul,
would think at that point they would come up with a better excuse.
You would think.
Well, you would think, but they don't care.
Yeah.
Right.
They don't expect people to look into it.
Right, exactly. There were so many things that were happening during the Iran-Contra affair, the CIA banks, I could tell you about that one, and a whole bunch of other things that were happening all at the same time. And it's just amazing how we try to circumvent things by using illegal means to do it.
Yeah.
And the government and the CIA has been doing that for umpteen years.
Yeah.
We've even used the Cosa Nostra to help us during World War II, if you remember that. And, it goes on and on and on like that. And
this isn't conspiracy theories.
No.
We're not spitting out malarkey here. These are real
facts.
deal Holyfield. It's going down. And
exactly.
The legend Pat O'Donnell knows the most. He's been around.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you, we were trying to get the listeners call and engage because I know there's more stories out there. And Pat, I know we can go down the rabbit hole, man,
Yeah.
and it's great. But look, what do you think about current spendings and this Festivus information that comes out every year? I mean, you've been listening to this show, so you got any thoughts on this Festivus report and why it's not being blasted at the top of the mountain for everyone to know?
Well, who controls the blaster? It's the news media, correct?
Right.
Well, there you go. They don't make a big issue of something they tell them not to. And it's the people that are in the industrial military complex, the CEOs, the board of directors. If you lived in any other country and you decided to move your company to a foreign country that was an enemy of yours, you'd be considered a traitor.
Right.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But we've done it here.
Yeah. Remember back when, who was it, Ross Perot, when he was talking about NAFTA was just coming on board, and he's like, you will hear a big sucking sound as everything moves to Mexico.
Exactly right. And that's
everybody laughed at him, and that's exactly what happened. He was
there's
100%
there's a bunch of plants in Mexico, like current car makers.
Yes.
Moved there.
So the question is, we have a constitutional republic here in this country.
Yep.
Not a democracy, a constitutional republic. A lot of people keep using the word democracy, and it's a constitutional republic, and that constitution holds our elected officials accountable. And as we go through time, and, we're a work in progress, just like every other country has been since the beginning of civilization, we have to remember that everything needs to be looked at carefully and decide what's for the best of the people. And we can't have certain groups take control of a government and control it. And that's what Eisenhower was trying to get at when he seen what was happening to these people that control the industrial military complex. And it goes back to the money.
Yeah, follow the money.
Follow the money. But hopefully people have woken up. They see what's happening. And we need to get our companies back. That's a priority. When you move a company to China owns 51% of that company.
Yeah, no matter
because
what.
under communism, and a lot of people don't even know the definition of communism, the government owns the means of production. And if the government owns the means of production, and Rocky, you're a stockbroker, that means they own 51% of it.
Yep, and that means
So
they can
anyway,
turn it off anytime they want.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, so that brings up a good point, and then this is just a little bit off topic, but it's sort of right on point with what you're saying here. Alibaba is like China's Amazon.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
they're a huge company, almost outgrown their own pants in China.
Mm-hmm.
Once this guy got to be a multi-billionaire, okay, the Alibaba creator,
Right.
he spoke out a little bit. Not even partially, just spoke out about the Chinese government. That dude disappeared for 2 years. This is recent.
Wow.
He just started coming back into the limelight.
That doesn't surprise
Their
me.
stock fell from almost a couple $100 a share down to like nothing
Wow.
because this guy disappeared.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, they will
literally,
disappear you in a minute.
Imagine the owner of Amazon or the owner of Tesla or one of these
Yeah.
major companies in America
Well-
speak out against the government and just disappear for 2 years.
Yeah.
Well, a long time ago, there was a musician in California. I can't remember the name of the group, but he was very, very intelligent. He was a genius, and he was a musician, but he was also a physicist. He went to the airport one day to catch a plane. Nobody ever seen him again.
Wow.
This stuff happens,
Yeah.
and it happens regularly. And I could go on and on and on, but I'm going to let you guys go because I've got something I got to do right now.
Okay.
All right, Pat.
All right, Pat. Thanks for calling.
Do we still got another caller on? All right.
Yep, we got another caller. Go ahead, caller. You're on WJOB Veterans Views.
Hey, good morning, my friends.
Hey,
Oh,
Ernie.
we got another legend here.
Yep.
Fellow soldiers. It was good to hear Pat's voice on the phone, former commander of the Legion, and he does so much in the community, and as we all do.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to make a comment real quick. I don't even know where to begin and chime in on this conversation.
Yeah, we've been all over the map here.
Yeah.
No, but it's duly needed, and we're wrapping up the old year, going into a new year. But I did want to give a shout out to American Legion Hammond Victory Post 168 for their tireless effort on a recent project that they managed to squeeze in over the last couple of weeks in the middle of everything going on in the holidays, and all the American Legions and VFWs and organizations that we belong to do these types of things. I'm going to talk about in the community day after day, year after year, on a volunteer basis. And, you're talking about those who need and what can we do to help them. There was a food drive that the members of the American Legion Post 168, along with the auxiliary members, conducted over the last couple of weeks, just recently, gathered some money. They pooled the money and met at the Legion, and then a group of many of them got together, scattered out, went and bought food at all the different stores around town, met back, put the food packages together, and then managed to round up everyone for distribution and gave away enough food to feed 50 families before Christmas. And I really am so proud of that group. And Donna, you were part of it. And if I start naming names, somebody will say,
Well, you forgot
Ernie,
me.
you forgot. Yeah. But I'm so proud as being a member and a commander of the post and of what we do in the middle of what we got going with our own situations. And I just wanted to end it on a high note with thanking all the legions and all the volunteers and you all on the radio show for getting the word out and providing a forum so that everyone could call in and talk and make their announcements throughout the year. And I'm looking forward to a real great 2026. So with that, that's about it, unless you got any questions, comments, or concerns for me.
Well, thank you, Ernie. That was a great event to be a part of. I look forward to doing more of that. We all serve. We've all served, and we continue to serve even as civilians. And I think that's very important. Like you said, you got the Legions, you got the VFWs, you've got the DAV, all these organizations take it upon themselves to get money from their members and then spread that throughout the community in one way or another.
Yeah, that's
Right.
the hardest part is to keep your front porch clean and then try to help other people clean theirs. That's the
Exactly.
hardest part, and you guys and all of our organizations here, not only in the region but all around the country, just do an incredible job.
Yeah.
And hats off. And during this time of the year, when everybody's so grateful for what they have and everybody has so much, giving and distributing that wealth, distributing just the the meat and potatoes, and then also, putting on your work boots,
Yeah.
and contributing in that way.
Right.
If you don't have the extra, we always have the ability to go out there and volunteer, and kudos to you guys for getting that done. That's incredible.
Thank you. That's a great analogy, the front porch analogy.
Yeah, I love
I'm
that.
going to use that. I'm going to use that more often. Clean your own front porch before you come around telling me about mine.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right?
Hey, I'll let you go, and happy holidays, and have a blessed New Year, and fly your flag.
Absolutely.
Absolutely,
You too.
Ernie. You
Thanks
too.
for calling in.
Thank you.
Hey,
So long,
so
gang.
we've been talking the whole show about the Festivus report,
Yeah.
and the fraudulent and downright disgusting spending,
Yeah.
that has been coming from all different types
Mm-hmm.
of budgets, but particularly the VA budget, which we talked about,
Right.
and the defense budget, which obviously is very, very inflated at this point. So if you want to help get your voice out there, there's a sponsored by North Township Veterans Roundtable 12th Annual Military and Veterans Legislative Day. So you can get down there at the Indiana State House. It's a bus trip, Monday, January 12th, 2026, open to active military and veterans. They register by January 9th. Register by calling 219-313-3934. Again, this is sponsored by North Township Veterans Roundtable. I know a lot of our listeners have been on this bus trip.
Yep. I have
So,
never been yet. So
Get down
looking
there
forward to it.
and have your voice heard. Show in force, because there's nothing more representative of our power than when we show up in numbers.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
So get down there on this bus trip and register by calling 219-313-3934.
And that will save you a seat on the bus.
Yeah, so I'm glad Ernie mentioned that. Ending on a high note, and what we're thankful for. There's so much to be thankful for in this country, and there's so much things that we can refine to make it better. But we are truly blessed, and let's not forget that when we're talking about some of the fraudulent spending and some of the things that we could have better. Let's also consider, especially during this time of the year, how blessed we really are to be in this country, to be able to worship whatever we want.
Absolutely.
Right? To be able to practice our political views freely.
Right.
You know?
Be able to protest and talk about bad about our government.
Right.
You know, and in a lot of countries you can't do that.
Just having the right to be on the show and to debate what's right and wrong,
Right.
is a freedom
Yeah.
that other countries don't have.
Right.
So let's kind of be united on that front in understanding how appreciative we are here, and the sacrifices of our history and the sacrifices of our military in the past.
Yep.
Some of the great movements of government that have allowed us to be the way that we are now, and we are all more free than we were 250 years ago.
Yeah.
So let's be appreciative of that. But also, we can't refine and be better without being aware of what's currently going on.
Right.
If you aren't aware of what's happened in the past or what's currently going on now, you're destined to repeat the retribution of
Right.
the past.
You know, we can't
So-
erase our history, and our history does have some black marks on it, you know.
Oh, for sure.
But we can't erase it, and we should not want to erase it. Like they do in other countries. They only tell everybody about the good stuff.
It's propaganda.
Yeah, propaganda. We don't want that in this country, because if we don't learn from our past, just like you said, Rocky, we're going to repeat it. You know, and there's a lot of divide right now in this country, and I think that regardless of what side or where you're at on the political spectrum, there's always something that we can find to agree on.
Absolutely.
You know, if we can, and you may not agree ideologically, and I hate that politics is ripping families apart. It should never do that. I know some people are very strong in their beliefs, and power to them. You know, you can do that in this country. But there's always something we can find that we can agree on.
Yeah. So we only got a few minutes left, and we're going to go down the contributors list here. And we just had talked earlier about our newest contributor. I believe it was White Oak.
Yeah.
In Crown Point. And so respin the video or respin the tape on that one to get the information here. But I just wanted to put out our contributors list because, again, this is all volunteer force. And everybody here takes their time out of their busy days and cleaning their front porch to help try to get the news out of some of the tools and utilizations other people can use to help clean their front porches.
Right, and we wouldn't have this show without these contributors.
Absolutely. This is fully funded by these contributors, so please think about it when we're spitting them off and then utilize them, whether it be you're a veteran that you're not connected to a American Legion post, or hey, we were going to talk about Calumet breweries. Maybe that's your next watering hole spot to grab a case or whatever. Okay, so founding American Legion Hammond Victory Post 168 meets the first Tuesday at 6 p.m. 6849 Columbia Avenue, Hammond, Indiana 219-937-4264. Thank you for your long enduring contributions to Veterans Views radio show. Calumet Breweries, 6535 Osborne Avenue, Hammond, 219-845-2242. Call them to get set up. Make sure that you utilize them. They've been long contributors to the Veteran Views radio show. Calumet Park Cemetery and Funeral Chapel, always supporting our veterans. My dad was buried with them. Very, 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 very well-established organization. And, again, longtime contributors to the show. Calumet Park Cemetery and Funeral Chapel, call for special veteran savings on complete burial packages, 219-769-8803, or the chapel, 219-736-5840. DAV Chapter 17 meets first Thursday at 7 p.m. At the VFW Post 802-5820 Hoffman Avenue in Hammond. Holman. The DAVs is a great organization. Do you have to be a disabled veteran?
Yes.
Okay, so you have to have a rating.
Yes.
Even 0%.
Even 0%.
Okay, awesome. DAV Chapter 80 meets second Friday, Cedar Lake, VFW Post 261. Cedar Lake, call them 219-386-2282. A couple DAVs here. Another DAV, Chapter 102, meets the first Friday. Fraternal Order of Eagles at 805 Elm Street in Valparaiso. Doors open at 12 p.m. for claims, meeting from 6:30 to 7:30. Then claims will be ongoing until they are done. 219-200, 219-200-0404. So 3 DAV chapters are contributors to this show. So awesome. Let's make sure that we utilize them as a tool, and then when they help us get a rating, we join the organization.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? It's most convenient for you. DAV Chapter 17 in Hammond, DAV Chapter 80 in Cedar Lake, DAV Chapter 102 in Valparaiso, all great organizations, and all have the same mission.
Yeah.
Is to help
veterans,
disabled veterans.
Yep. Get their benefits that they have coming to them.
Exactly, and it's a really good organization to be a part of as well. Laborers International Union of North America 41, 500 Superior Street, Munster, Indiana. Call them 219-924-7922. Laborers International Union of North America 41. If you're out there, you got a number here. You got a point of contact, 219-924-7922. Maybe you're looking for work. Maybe you're looking to join the Laborers International Union of North America 41. They are contributors to Veterans Views radio shows, so we greatly appreciate you reaching out to them if you're in need in any way. They're looking for work. Military Order of the Purple Heart, Chapter 721. Military Order of the Purple Heart, Chapter 721 meets the second Thursday at 7 p.m. at Glenn F. Reinecker, VFW Post 802-5820 Holman Avenue in Hammond. So if you got a Purple Heart, or you know somebody that's got a Purple Heart that wants to be a part of this organization, they're contributors to Veteran Review Radio Show, and we greatly appreciate your contributions keeping us on the air. Family Dental Care. Veterans receive extra free exams, x-rays, and cleanings, as well as 10% discount on all other services. 8 convenient Chicagoland locations and NWI locations, Northwest Indiana. Chicago, East Chicago, and the South Sides, Calumet City, Crestwood, Oaklawn, Evergreen Park, Harding, Munster, Indiana. And here it states their newest location in Indiana and 9th location coming in 2026 to Griffith, Indiana. That's where I live, Griffith.
Yeah, okay.
All right, 219-804-9329. Call them, get some discounts, and we appreciate you being contributors to Veteran Reviews radio show. Ron J. Pressmer Insurance Company for all your insurance needs, auto, home, life, health, business, and more. Sure we could all utilize Ron J. Pressmer Insurance Company, longtime contributor to the show, 219-844-0103. And Kuziak Construction, 1235 Summer Street, Hammond, 219-923-3007. The Kuziak Show precedes Veterans Views and airs every Friday, 6 to 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. So be sure to tune in WJOB Jed TV at 104.7 FM, 12:30 a.m. for your Friday morning programming. Kuziak always warms up the crowd so that we can Charlie Mike, they say, in the military, continue mission.
There you go.
And put out the news. So we've got really good contributors here. Newest contributor, Heroes Helping Heroes, Northwest Indiana. Go to heroeshelpingtheheroes.com. Contact founder Rich Tokars at 219-670-2501. Heroes Helping Heroes, Northwest Indiana. And then, of course, we always like to put out the suicide hotline, 988, Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. Call or text 988.
And then if you want to talk to a veteran, you dial 9881, and then you, as a veteran, you can talk to another veteran.
Which is highly beneficial in many situations.
Yes.
Because, let's be honest, a lot of the civilian population doesn't even have an inkling of some of the issues that we're maybe facing,
right,
physically or mentally. So make sure you utilize that 988 if you're ever in need. You're feeling in a position to where you feel like you're going to hurt yourself or take your own life, and it's a tough situation to talk about, but we have the program call 988 immediately and just talk to somebody because it's important to get that voice in your ear to tell you how valuable you are to this planet. And there's people out there that care about you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whether you're thinking about them as an immediate family or not, I care about you. Donna cares about you.
Right.
Call the Veterans Views radio show, and we care about you. Let's talk. So that's what we got for our contributors. Thanks for allowing us to stick on a couple extra minutes to get that out. And we hope you all had a great Merry Christmas, and you got a Happy New Year coming up. We talked about budgets today and fiscal responsibility of spending in our tax dollars that contribute to the VA. But we do also want to drive home all the things that we're thankful for and this great country and our freedoms. Donna, you got anything to say?
No, I just want to wish everybody a Happy New Year and remind, kind of a show announcement. We will not be on the air next week. We are going to give, WJOB is moving, I don't know if everybody knows, we're moving to the other studio. So in preparation for that, we will not be on the air next week. Give them time to get everything set up. Well, we will be on, wait a minute, let me give a date out before I mess this up. So next week is the 2nd, so we will not be on the air January 2nd, but we will be back January 9th.
Yep, new location and a new number.
Yeah.
So we'll be putting out, we'll have to memorize a new number.
Yeah, I know. And then we're also going to be doing some different things with the show after the first of the year.
Yep.
I'm really excited about some of the multimedia stuff we're going to be doing. And,
absolutely. Some engagement opportunities with Facebook and getting back on the road here. We got to keep the contributors healthy, keep us on the road, and get us the information.
Yep. And please, if you use one of our contributors, please mention you heard about them on Veterans Views.
Absolutely. All right, that's it. Everybody have a great Happy New Year, and hoorah!
Hoorah! Good night, Chesty, wherever you are.